Hey guys, welcome to another video. If you're new here, my name is Kiara and I'm a full-time crochet business owner. And in this video, I will be bringing you guys along with me to 2 markets to sell my crocheted plushies. And then, of course, we will do our market prep together before these markets. And then, of course, as usual, I will give you guys a whole breakdown of all my sales after each market. So right now is Thursday. It's like about noon. And the first market for this video is tonight, so it's a night market, and then the second market is on Saturday, and it's like a whole day market. So right beside me I have everything I crocheted since my last market, which was last weekend. The last market I had was Sunday, so this is everything I crocheted since Sunday, and all of these items will need to be ready for today's market. So I'm going to need to put price tags on all these items and tags with my logo and just get them all ready to bring to the market today. So I will show you guys all of these items that I crocheted since my last market, just to give you guys an idea of everything I crocheted. This is basically everything I crocheted in like 3 days because, my last market was Sunday, so this is everything I crocheted Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then I only crocheted 1 item this morning. So let's get right into it. So first I have a huge item. So it is a big rainbow pillow. I had another one like this at a few markets, and then it sold last weekend, so that's why I made another one. I made this one a little bit different, like same concept and everything, but just like I made it a different way. So I believe it came out longer. Like the other one was more like, it was shorter this way, but I think it was maybe the same height. But yeah, so this one's a bit longer. But yeah, it sold last weekend. I was really excited about that. So I made another one. I think it's a really great item to like catch people's attention from far, and it just takes the right buyer to come and buy it. Then I made 3 little rubber duckies, is what I call them. I know they're not really rubber, but they kind of look like rubber duckies. I just freehand these. I started making these just last weekend, like before last weekend's events, and I sold 2 last weekend, so I made more in case they sell again. Then I have a beautiful teal elephant. This is my own pattern that you can find on my Etsy and coffee shop. It even has a little tail like this. The elephants were really popular last year, and then this year they sell once in a while, but I did have to raise the price this year since the amount of time and material it takes me. Last year's prices was just cutting myself short, so I upped the price a little bit. Maybe that's why they're selling a little bit less this year, but I sold a few last weekend, so I made one more to at least replenish that a little bit. Then I made quite a few sea turtles. Sea turtles were a hit last weekend. I had a few markets last weekend, and sea turtles of different sizes sold really well last weekend. So here I have 2 jumbo sea turtles. I call them jumbo. I know some of you might say these are not jumbo. Some of you might make a lot bigger sea turtles, but these are like jumbo for me. I make mostly small plushies. So anyways, I made these 2. This one has bigger eyes. I had one just like this one last weekend, and I showed it in the video too because I had made it the week before. Same eyes, same yarn and everything, and I sold it last weekend. So I made another one since this color combination seems to be a hit this year. And I made this one with this color combination, a little bit different, very bright. These are my own pattern. They are part of a pattern bundle. This is the bigger size in the bundle when made with Bernat blanket yarn. And I have more of the smaller size that I'll be showing you guys soon. So I made 2 jumbo ones. Now for the smaller sea turtles, these are made with the Dollar Tree yarn, Premier Just Chenille, so these are not Bernat blanket, but I did use the small sea turtle pattern from my pattern bundle, so they're obviously smaller than they would be if you made them with Bernat Blanket, but it is the smaller pattern in the bundle. So I made 6 of these. These were a huge hit last weekend. Like, they were my second best sellers on both markets I had last weekend. So I made 6 to replenish that a little bit, and even then I don't even know if that's going to be enough. So I will show you guys them one by one just to show you guys the different color combinations, but hopefully I have enough because I nearly sold out last weekend. So I have pink and green, these 2 shades of like dusty pink, pink and blue. This is the plushie I made this morning, the only plushie I made today. Everything else was the days before. Pink and light green. This is my favorite color combinations of all, and I think a lot of people like this color combination too. Then we have dark teal and light teal, or green, or whatever color we want to call that. And lastly, purple and blue. I tried to make different color combinations since different people like different color combinations, so hopefully that will be enough for this week. Then, since we're talking about turtles, I made 2 mini turtles. These are not sea turtles, they're just little land turtles. This is also my own pattern that you can find on my Etsy and coffee shop. These, they didn't sell like crazy last weekend, but I sold a few, but I was just running low to begin with, so I made 2 more just to replenish it a little bit. Then I made 1 chubby bunny, like this. It has a pom-pom tail. This is also my own pattern that you can find on my Etsy and coffee shop. I only made 1 of these this week, but I sold quite a few last weekend's market. I should make more since I am running a bit low, but I think the sea turtles were my biggest priority this week. So I just made 1, at least replenished a little bit. Then I made a medium bee. I say medium because I have some smaller ones. I don't have any smaller ones here that I made like last week since I didn't sell. I don't even know if I sold any last weekend of the little bees, but I sold a few of these bigger medium bees. I'm not going to say they're big bees because I have a giant bee, so that would be the big bee. So I just made 1 of these like medium-sized bees. My inventory for these is a bit low, but that's going to do the trick for now, hopefully. Then I made 3 very colorful snakes. I will show you guys them one by one, but I made 3. I sold, I think, 4 last weekend at the 2 different markets, and I'm running very low on snakes now. But I mean, snakes don't sell that well for me usually. Like, usually I'll go like multiple markets without even selling 1 snake, and then last weekend with 2 markets I sold like 4 snakes, and I'm running low. So I made 3 very bright, vibrant colors. So I will show you guys them individually. So I think these colors are just perfect for a snake. And then they all have these like snake eyes too. This one has green eyes. So I think this color is awesome. Then we have this rainbow one. I think this one is super cool. I love these colors. This one has yellow eyes. And then another cool bright color. This one has blue eyes. So hopefully these will be enough for this week again. Then I made 4 chunky cats. I have 2 in this like brown mixed color and then 2 gray ones. They all have different colored silly eyes. I think I only had 1 of these left in my inventory after last weekend, so I made 4 more to be sure to have enough. I'm saying I was running low on a lot of things. Now, last weekend's markets, they were okay. You can go watch the video about it. They weren't horrible, but they weren't like insanely good. It's just with how much markets I've been having recently, I'm selling more than I can produce since I'm only 1 person. These are all handmade. It takes a lot of time. So good thing I really stocked up on everything during the slow months since even though the markets I've had recently haven't been insanely good, I'm still selling more than I can produce in a week. So anyways, I made 4 of these, so hopefully that will be enough again. Now the last 2 items, but they're very similar I guess. I have 2 weighted chickens. You can probably tell they're different sizes. This one's bigger and heavier. This one is a bit smaller and lighter. These weighted chickens have been a pretty good seller this year so far, especially in this like white cream color. Those ones have been the most popular by far. So last weekend I had one of the heavier ones in this white color. I still have some weighted chickens in my inventory, but just no white ones. So last weekend I had one just like this and it sold. So I figured I would make a big one and a smaller one because they are different weights. They're different prices. This one's going to be a bit cheaper, obviously, since it's smaller and lighter. So I figured I'd have two different sizes of white chickens since the white ones are the most popular and they are what most people like. So I figured I might as well have these two options of white weighted chickens. So that is everything I crocheted since Sunday. Considering that's like 3 days worth of crochet, I think that's really good. I'm proud of everything I made. So all of these items will need price tags and tags with my logo. So I'm just going to go ahead and do all that. I won't do a time lapse since this video is probably going to be pretty long already with 2 markets, 2 separate breakdowns and everything. So I will go do that, get the small things ready for the market, and I will update you guys later on. Alright, so I put the tags on all those plushies earlier and then I just kind of got ready for the market. So I'll be leaving shortly for the market and I will try to show you guys my setup once it's all done. I won't show you guys clips of me setting up because at this venue I just try to get set up as quickly as possible so that people can start shopping because there's usually people walking around pretty early here. So I will try to update you guys throughout the market. Sometimes when there's a lot of traffic, I can't because there's always people walking around, so I don't want to just be there talking to my phone. People don't really want to come in my booth when I'm talking to my phone. So I will do my best to update you guys, and then I will, of course, give you guys a whole breakdown of all my sales after the market. So hopefully we can go have a good market for Thursday evening. We're at the market. It's really hot. Like, I'm sweating so much. I made okay sales so far, but it's pretty slow, so hopefully it picks up. Hopefully we make more sales. Hey guys, I'm back home from today's market. I'm back early. So before I left, the weather, I don't know, like it was saying it was going to be sunny up until like 8, and then it said there might be a risk of thunderstorm at 9. But to be honest, I think we're all not trusting the weather app because I can tell you about so many times that the weather app said the weather's going to be really bad, and then either they cancel the market or we end up going and risking it and then it's literally just fine outside. So we all figured it was going to be the case again. And then the wind was really strong today. Like throughout the whole market, there was like gusts of wind. But it wasn't too bad. But then at like 7:30, like the market started at 5 and then it was supposed to be until 9. And at 7:30, the organizer just passed by and just told everyone pack up, like just pack up. And we were like, okay. So then we all started packing up. The wind was kind of strong, but nothing insane. And then as like we were tearing down, I'm so thankful that we were basically all like everything was put down almost. Our tents were still up, me and this vendor beside me. My tables were, some of them, one table was down, grid walls were down, but one table still had the tablecloth on it and it was still standing. And there was these huge gusts of wind. Like, sorry, my dog. I have never seen gusts of wind this strong. Like, I almost thought I was gonna fly away. The vendor beside me, their tent is broken, I believe. I don't know if it's like something they can fix, but it's broken. It looked pretty broken. I'm really thankful mine held up. I mean, it was an expensive tent, so I'm very thankful it held up. I'm thankful no one got hurt, but those gusts of wind were insane. My table, though, did kind of go flying. Shout out to the security guards and just people that were standing around that came and helped and just basically held on to our tent for dear life. So yeah, that was done, and then when we figured, okay, those gusts are done, we just teared down and put everything in the car and left. And then on my way home, there was a lot of thunder, or I didn't hear thunder, there was a lot of lightning, and it was raining, and that's why my dog is here. He's terrified of thunder, so I'm just petting him, trying to comfort him. So I'm back home early, but we did make some sales, so let's get into the sales shortly. So I did update you guys at some point, and I mean, when I updated you guys, like, it wasn't horrible, the wind. Like, it just, those gusts of wind when we were tearing down came out of nowhere, but I mean, there was a huge gray cloud right above us. So I don't know, it's just getting really hard to trust the weatherman, because, like, the amount of times it said this kind of weather was gonna happen. Last weekend, they said there was a tornado warning, there was really bad weather, and then so they canceled the market last weekend for everyone's safety, and then it was nice and sunny. So that's just like, you know, they probably wanted to avoid that, which I understand the weather people would rather be safe than sorry. But last week, the organizers canceled the market just to try to keep everybody safe. And this week, the weather app didn't look as bad as it did last week, so we all figured it's not going to be that bad, but it was. So anyways, here, I don't know, we get tornado warnings like almost every day, and we never got a tornado. I'm not saying that was a tornado, but that was a very strong wind. So, anyways, I will get to the sales I made before all of that happened. I did get a repeat customer. They've been coming to my booth for like a few markets in a row now, and they always buy, a lot of plushies, and they buy some weighted plushies too, which are more expensive. So anyways, they really helped out my sales today. So today I made a total of $179 in sales, which was before we teared down. So that was like in 2.5 hours. Not amazing, but it was pretty slow. The booth fee was $55, and the square fees were $1.97. So that leaves me with a total profit of $122.03 for tonight. Not like amazing, but I mean, we were there for 2.5 hours. I'm just really thankful none of my stuff got damaged and no one was hurt. That's the biggest thing. So, now I will give you guys a whole breakdown of all my sales. I will tell you guys how many of each items I sold out of the amount that I brought, and I will put a picture up here, tell you guys how much I sold the item for. So, let's get right into it. So this breakdown isn't going to be super long. Also, never mind the mess here. So starting with medium cats, I started with 5 and I sold 2 of them for $20 each. I started with 19 mini chickens and I sold 1 for $10. I started with 22 small frogs and I sold 2 of them for $8 each. I started with 9 small sea turtles and I sold 2 of them for $18 each. I started with 4 weighted chickens of different weights and I sold 2 of them. One was $32 and one was $38. They were different prices because they were different weights, different sizes. And lastly, I started with 23 mini whales and I sold 1 for $8. So that's a total of 10 items. Nothing crazy, but that repeat customer bought the 2 weighted chickens, and they also got a small frog and a mini whale. So that was really nice of them. They really helped out my sales today. So the best sellers, I mean, it's basically all the items I sold 2 of each. So we have medium cats, small frogs, small sea turtles, and weighted chickens. I wouldn't really go and say they're like best sellers. It's just, I guess they're today's best seller, but they're just items that I sold more than 1 of. So Nothing crazy, but I didn't lose money today. Nothing was damaged. I wouldn't call it a complete win, but it's not like a complete loss either. So for tonight, I will go shower to get all of this sweat off of me, and just really try to comfort my dog. Like, he is really scared right now, poor little guy. So I'll try to comfort him and just, I don't know, it's not super late, but if I do crochet tonight, I might crochet a little bit tonight. I'll crochet all day tomorrow, basically. So I will update you guys tomorrow on everything I crocheted and all that stuff, so we can get ready for Saturday's market, which hopefully will go better than this. Hey guys, so it is now Friday evening, so I just want to show you guys everything I crocheted today that I will need to get ready for tomorrow's market. So I basically crocheted all day today, got quite a few things done, so I will just show you guys really quick before getting them all ready for tomorrow. So first, I made 2 weighted chickens in the exact same colors that as the ones that I sold yesterday. So there's a bigger one in this brown color and a smaller one in like this speckled color. These are the exact 2 that I sold yesterday, like same colors, same weights and everything. So I just figured I would make another big one and another small one, since all I had left after yesterday was 2 white ones, one bigger and one smaller. So I figured I would just basically replenish the ones that I sold yesterday. So I made these 2. And I made another weighted plushie. This one is an octopus. I used like the same type of weighted pouch and I just made it into an octopus. This one, the weight is like in between those 2 chickens, a weight that's like in between the 2. I made it some eyebrows too, super cool eyes. I did have a weighted octopus a while ago, but I sold it at another event a while ago and just haven't had time to make another one, so I figured I might as well make another weighted octopus to have another alternative to weighted plushies. Then I made 4 small sea turtles. I sold 2 yesterday and they've just been selling really well recently, and I'm having a hard time keeping enough in stock, so I figured I might as well make some while I can. So I have this color combination, 2 shades of pink. I sold one in this color yesterday, and I actually sold I sold one in this color combination yesterday, and the other one that I sold yesterday was the color combination I just showed you guys just before this, the pink and blue. Then I have purple and green and pink and purple. So I will go put tags on all of these and get them ready for tomorrow. Alright, so I'm all done putting tags with my logo and price tags on all of those items, and they're all packed, so I will just grab them tomorrow when I leave to go to the market. So I will be going to bed soon. My square was plugged in today, so it should be good. So yeah, I'm pretty sure everything is all ready. I really didn't move much since yesterday's market. So I will talk to you guys tomorrow morning before I leave for the market, and hopefully we can have a good market tomorrow since yesterday was not so good. Hey guys, so I'm all ready for Saturday's market. It's pretty early, but I'll be leaving soon. This market is pretty far from where I live, like complete other end of town in another suburb, at the complete other opposite of the city. But I don't know, I would rather be a little early and have to sit in my car and wait for a little bit rather than being late. So I'll be leaving soon. I'm pretty excited for today. I hope today goes really well. The weather's looking good. Pretty hot, but not as hot as Thursday, and no huge wind gusts that are supposed to happen, at least. So hopefully we can have a good day. I will do my best to update you guys throughout the day and show you guys my setup once it's all done and all that good stuff. The market started a bit ago, sales are okay, so hopefully we make more sales. Traffic is pretty good so far. I had one customer that came and bought for over $100, so that was really nice. They bought higher priced items, so it's going pretty well. Hey guys, so I'm back home from Saturday's market. My hair is kind of crazy. I've actually been done with the market for a while, but I just came home really quick after the market to like let my dogs out and feed them and everything. And then I went to my aunt's house because she has a pool, so we kind of went swimming because it was really hot today. Like, I'm still really gross from just sweating so much today. It was really hot. Earlier I said it wasn't as hot as Thursday, which I still don't think it was, but it was still insanely hot. So yeah, I'm back home. I did try to update you guys. I think I updated you guys twice today, and that was more like in the morning or at the beginning of the event, which at that time it was going pretty well. There was good traffic, and then it's like, I don't know, midway through the market, I would say, like maybe at 12:30, it just basically died down and never picked up again. So the sales were okay in the morning, and had they kept going like that for the rest of the day, I think we would have had, I don't know, I would have had a good market. But it just really died down and I barely made any sales after that. So I don't know. I did mention though, I did have one really good customer that bought for a total of $118. She did buy 2 more expensive items, and then, yeah, anyways. I will tell you guys later exactly what she bought. But, yeah, that one customer was not half my sales, but over a third of my sales. So, that customer really helped me out today. But without her, I think I would have been really sad about my sales. So I don't know. I will tell you guys, like, exactly how much I made and everything. But I'm not gonna say I'm, like, super happy with my sales today. It could have been worse, definitely, but I don't know, like, it just really died down. Maybe it was because of the heat and it was just so hot people weren't coming out. I don't know. But I didn't make that many sales today, but I will tell you guys about them. So today I made a total of $303. The booth fee was only $30. That's the only reason I'm like okay with that, because technically I did make 10 times the booth fee, not profit though. And the square fees were $1.42, so that leaves me with a total profit of $271.58. So you guys probably noticed I mentioned quite often that I kind of aim to make 10 times the booth fee, which is a good goal to set myself for me. So technically, before taking out the booth fee and before all the fees and everything, I did reach 10 times the booth fee. But this booth fee was quite low, which I appreciate, I gotta say. This organizer made this market as like a vendor appreciation kind of thing. That's kind of how it was advertised for vendors, because their fee is usually $50, which is still not horrible. But this one was $30, kind of to try to help vendors out a little bit. So that definitely did help out, because had the booth fee been higher, my profit would have been lower, obviously. So the booth fee wasn't high, so technically I did reach 10 times the booth fee, but I still made under $300 profit, so I can't say I'm like super happy with that. Like, I'm not gonna go and cry about it. But I don't know, I would have liked to make more. I think everyone always wants to make more, but I don't know, like, I would have liked to make more also, especially that Thursday's market was kind of a bust because of the weather. So I don't know, like, I'm not gonna go and complain about my sales or anything, but personally, I would have liked to make more sales. Had the traffic been how it was in the morning for the whole market, I think I would have done a lot better. I don't know, I just really died down like mid-market. I don't know where everybody went. Maybe it was the heat, it was just getting too much, and it was the type of day that people would go to the beach. I mean, there's not really beaches here, but they would go to the pool or like the water park or things like that, not necessarily walking around at a market. So maybe it was just the hot weather, which this year, I don't think there's been a single day that it's been under 25 degrees Celsius. It's been over that, more towards 30, 35 degrees Celsius every single day. People are tired, it's hot, people are not going out. So, I don't know. That's kind of like my opinion about today, I guess. Also, this market was quite far from my house, like I mentioned this morning, so it did take some gas to get there. I'm not going to include the gas that it took in this breakdown of like my profit, but don't worry, any gas or anything like that that I use for my business does get taken into consideration at the end of the month when I calculate all of my expenses. So now, as usual, just like for Thursday's market, I will give you guys a whole breakdown of all my sales. Just like Thursday, everything I sold, the amount of items I sold out of the amount that I brought, and how much I sold the item for. So let's get right into the breakdown. So starting with medium B's, I started with 5 and I sold 1 for $20. I started with 18 mini chickens and I sold 1 for $10. I started with 25 chicken nuggets and I sold 5 of them for $8 each. I started with 5 crop tops in the size extra small, and I sold 1 for $35. That was one of the items that one customer bought. I started with 11 hot dogs and I sold 1 for $25. I started with 2 smaller jellyfish, just not my giant ones, and I sold 1 for $24. I started with 136 keychains and I sold 3 of them for $8 each. I started with 20 small frogs and I sold 2 of them for $8 each. I started with 4 rubber duckies and I sold 1 for $15. I started with 5 mini turtles and I sold 1 for $12. I started with 11 small sea turtles and I sold 1 for $18, which is another item that one customer bought. And lastly, the other item that they bought, I started with 2 weighted square animals. I will get more into that in a second. And I sold 1 for $65. So obviously those are more higher priced. They're weighted, like I mentioned, and I just call them that because, I mean, they're square, they're weighted, and it's an animal. Usually I make them in, like, bears. But those ones are a lot heavier than my weighted chickens. Those are really meant to put on your chest to soothe stress and anxiety, kind of like the same concept as a weighted blanket. So that is one of my highest priced items, and they bought one of those. So that customer really helped me out today. So that's a total of 19 items that sold. So for my best sellers today, number 1 was chicken nuggets and I sold 5 of them. Number 2 was keychains and I sold 3 of them. And number 3 was small frogs and I sold 2 of them. So I'm not super surprised by the best sellers. That's pretty typical. Like chicken nuggets, I mean, recently chicken nuggets have kind of been like a hit or miss, but today they were a hit apparently. And then keychains and small frogs, everybody loves them. And yeah, so those were the best sellers for today. So with Thursday's market and today's market, this weekend I made a total profit of $393.61. I can't say I'm like happy with that, considering that was 2 markets. I put a lot of effort into going to these markets and prepping for these markets. And I mean, it happens. It definitely happens that you have markets that aren't as good or anything like that. But it's just recently I've had so many markets that have been that kind of mentality that I just say, oh, well, sometimes that's how it is. Can't win them all, which it seems I've been losing a lot of them lately. So I don't know. It's just disappointing, and it just gets a little bit like discouraging when we put so much effort into setting up at these markets. And I mean, I'm sure the organizers, like, they are working so hard to try to get people to come to the markets. Organizers cannot control the weather, and they can't control whether people buy your stuff or not. So I'm not in any way like saying the organizers didn't do their job. It's just, as vendors, it's discouraging. And yeah, it's discouraging when we do all this and don't make that much money and stuff like that, which it happens. I would just really like to have a really successful market soon. That would be really great. But this is going to be like a little bonus to this video, I guess. The vendor beside me was selling all sorts of cute little stuff, and she was selling, I think she was calling them blind dates with a book. And so it's like this, there's a book in here, and on the side it says like the genre of book. I love like mystery, thriller, and suspense, so I picked this one. I don't know, I was looking at her stuff before the market and thought I just had to buy something, and I think these are super cute, and they come with like little accessories and things like that. It's just so put together so nicely, so I had to buy one. So I got this one, so I controlled myself and didn't open it yet. And then you have a mystery book inside of this genre, obviously. So anyways, I controlled myself this whole time and thought I would open it with you guys. So first I'm just gonna take like the little accessories off. Also, I asked her what her business name was just so I could show you guys. And she said there's a business card in here, so I will be sure to show you guys the business card. Maybe I should have put you guys lower, actually. I might do that. Alright, so I just put you guys lower a little bit so that I could like show you guys maybe a little better. So this is a hair clip that was holding these cute little bracelets. I don't know if you guys can see. I don't really wear these kinds of hair clips, to be honest, but I think it's cute. Maybe I could, you know? I don't know. I'd have to look on Pinterest for like hairstyles and things like that. And then there's these two little bracelets, which I think are super cute. And there is a bookmark, which is also super cute, which I enjoy bookmarks because I always lose mine. And to be honest, like, I don't even know why I got this because I have so many books. Like, I could show you guys my bookshelf. It's a mess, so I won't. But I have so many books that I haven't read because I'm so busy, guys. Like, I have no time to read. I do watch a lot of, like, TV shows when I crochet, but I don't have time to read. But this was just so cute. And I love buying books. Like, it's a problem. I love buying books a little bit too much, and then I don't read them. I don't know what this is. I don't know if it's like a tea. I think it's tea. I don't know. Some of you might be like familiar with tea. I'm not a tea drinker. But I might just have to try this. And I believe this is the business card. I don't want to rip, like, I feel like it's gonna rip the paper, but I'm gonna have to rip the paper probably. Okay, so the business is called Yours to Love. Here's like the logo. There's like the Instagram handle at the back here. I don't know if it's even focusing at all, but there it is. And I believe there's like a little pen or something. Oh, is there more stuff? No, okay, it's the pen. It's like a pen or marker or something, or a highlighter, I don't know. I think it's a highlighter. And it's like blue. Super cute. Okay, let's actually open the book to see what book it is, because I'm curious. I was kind of scared that it's a book that I already have, because I mostly, like, out of all these books that I own, they're mostly like mystery and like thriller and suspense, because that's the type of book that I enjoy. So it's very possible that it's one that I already have, but I took the risk. This is the book. I believe they're all like used books, obviously in good condition, but her whole booth was kind of like upcycled things, so this is amazing. In good condition. I don't have this book, so that's good. If you guys have read it before and have any thoughts on it, obviously don't spoil it for me. But if you've read it and you like it or don't like it, let me know in the comments. I'm curious. I will definitely like read the back and everything. But I'm happy it's a book I don't already have, and I will add it to my collection of books that I'm probably going to read when I'm like retired. So I enjoyed opening that with you guys. I hope you guys did too. The whole time, like, I bought this at the beginning of the market, and the whole time I was like, ooh, I want to open it. But I waited to show you guys. So yeah, that was fun. So yeah, this weekend wasn't super profitable for me, but I say weekend, but one market was on Thursday. But my mom also is doing an event where she lives with my plushies, which I really appreciate. Thank you, Mom. and she told me how she did today, and just today with her sales, she did better than I did in those 2 markets that I did this week. My cat's meowing. So yeah, it wasn't a super successful weekend, or whatever you want to call it. I'm just going to call it a weekend. Wasn't super successful, but I still met some nice people. Thursday I had some returning customers. Today it was kind of in a different suburb, so I met some new people that followed me on my social medias. Hopefully they're going to come to more events that I'm at. So I'm not going to say it was a fail of a weekend or anything like that. Like, I didn't lose money. Obviously I would have liked to make more, but I made some sales. I met some people. So it was kind of great. So that's going to be it for me for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys enjoyed my little surprise book unboxing, unwrapping at the end. I had fun. So, yeah, definitely let me know if you read that book, if you liked it, if you didn't like it. I am interested in hearing your thoughts. And definitely stay tuned, since I have a lot more markets coming up, a lot more events. Hopefully my future ones will be more successful than this. If you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!